This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Yates Flooring Center chat line is open. Good morning at 6:32. You can go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app presented by Happy State Bank. Visual Edge IT hotline is open as well at 806-771-0973. I'll put the Red Raiders with my Packers schedule. Play 4 games, 4-0, get a bye, and finish out by sweeping the season. Defense wins championships. Okay. JL, you're right. We don't know how good either team really is, and that's why the line opened at 3.5. Vegas isn't sure, and 3 points as the spread means they think it's a toss-up, and advantage goes to the home teams. Okay.
When you see that, when you're on the road and you see the line only at 3 or 3.5, I think that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Because you feel like, man, this could go either way.
Evenly matched, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have this concern or if it's just the team that you have more of a concern about, your opponent. First game on the road is my only concern.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know whether or not to be afraid of that. Not certain. Yeah, don't know.
You feel like you've gotten, not that you've gotten your road woes figured out, but do you feel like that you've kind of gotten over that hump where you don't feel like you can win on the road?
Yeah, for the most part, I think I believe that you're past that, but it's a new year.
Yeah.
So you don't know.
Yeah.
And there is something to be said for playing on the road this year with this team and all that good stuff. So
because you haven't done it yet. So.
Yeah.
In the top 25 on Saturday, there's only 3 games that involve teams that are both ranked. You've got the Tech one, Tech 17, Utah 16, both teams at 3-0. And then you have Auburn and Oklahoma playing each other. Auburn is 22, Oklahoma is 11. That game is in Norman, and the Sooners are favored by 6.5. And I just think this particular game is going to be a real dud. Number 9, Illinois, and number 19, Indiana. Mm-hmm. Both those teams are 3-0.
Yeah, not a lot of people have a lot of respect or belief in either program.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever worry that with the way that college football's gone here, you've got these, like number 7 Florida State's playing Kent State, and Oregon's playing Oregon State, and certainly Tech has had its patsies the last 3 weeks, that the momentum that you have for college football gets stymied, and people get turned off by it, and they're like, oh God, is this another dud week? And then they finally discover, oh hey, it's a good week, but they've gone past it because they found something else to do, or they've got other activities, or is that not a concern to you?
Well, I guess the good part there is that you have other games that are good. You kind of go. I prefer get all the non-conference out of the way first and then play all conference games. I mean, that would be the ideal situation for me, but I know that's not realistic. So I guess although there are plenty of duds out there, you kind of look for, okay, surely there's some good games this week, and that's kind of the way it feels.
Mm-hmm. There was a time it felt like that there were big games early on, but then those teams looked at each other and went, well, we put all our marbles in this game here in week 1 or week 2, and we get beat, and then that just kind of knocks us out of the chance to get into a championship situation. But with the college football playoff, and whether you have 12 or 16 teams, depending on where you're going in the future, you feel like the season isn't over in September if you lose. Whereas, in the past it was.
Well, it did feel like Kansas State thought it was, because they looked like a team last time out that didn't look like they much wanted to be there.
Well, there's some There's some truth to that. Looking at the Big 12 this week, there is a game tomorrow night. Tulsa plays at Oklahoma State, and the Cowpokes are favored by 12.5. Also on Saturday, West Virginia is at Kansas. Both those teams are 2-1. SMU, TCU, and then North Carolina plays at UCF. Also in Big 12 play, Arizona State's at Baylor, BYU is at East Carolina, and then Wyoming is at Colorado. So aside from Texas Tech and Utah, Jamie, I think the next best game is Arizona State and Baylor, right? I mean, that's a really curious game, isn't it?
Extremely. Yeah, I think that's a great one. I think SMU TCU is really interesting as well. I think West Virginia Kansas is a fun one, but Baylor and Arizona State in Waco. That's the one that I think I'll be the most interested in besides the Red Raiders.
Because you could make a case, much like you can make a case in our game, the loser in both of those games has a little bit extra hill to climb. Or it looks maybe the hill's a little bit steeper. Maybe that's the better way to say it, to get to the Big 12 championship game, just because of potential ties and tie breaks that could come down the line in November.
Every game has the potential to factor in to whether you get to the Big 12 championship game or not. Every Big 12 game, whether it's against a good team or a bad team.
No, it's true. It just seems like the stakes are a little bit higher this week for those four teams.
For Utah and Tech and Baylor and Arizona State.
Yeah.
Well, you get the double bonus of it's a team you're probably going to be competing with, so if you get a win, you're also handing them a loss.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. The hill gets a little steeper for the loser.
Sure.
To climb. Now of course if you stub your toe the next week and lose to Houston, then that you can undo all the good of going and winning at Utah.
All 9 of them count. All 9 of them.
There's no doubt.
Can keep you out.
It just feels like, some are more important than others.
And that's fair. That's fair, again, because you can get yourself a win and hand them a loss if that's a team that's going to be, in the mix with you.
Yeah. 6:40 this morning here on the Morning Drive. If you've had an early score come into your pea-picking brain and you want to share it with us, you certainly can. Hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that on the mobile app. Visual Edge IT Hotline 2 is open at 806-771-0973.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
The Morning Drive, time for this day in sports history. Here is Jeff McGuire.
Starting in 1938. Great offensive battle here between the Bears and the Green Bay Packers.
Was it 0-0?
2-0. Chicago Bears. 1954. Rick Spink scores twice and kicks 5 extra points as Texas Tech routs Texas A&M 41-9 in its first win in College Station. 1956. Mickey Mantle is the 8th player to hit 50 home runs in a season. 1984. Tim Raines is the first player with 4 consecutive 70 stolen base seasons.
Wow.
1994. Ken Burns' documentary miniseries, Baseball, premieres on PBS. Wins the Emmy for Most Outstanding Informational Series. And Jamie has still not seen it yet. I am going to tie him to his desk one day and put it on and make him watch. And it will take about 3 seconds for him to not need the restraints anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I'll need them.
But it's going to be having to tie him to his desk so that he will sit down and watch. 2004. Down 21-0 to TCU. Texas Tech scores 56 straight points as Jared Hicks earns 211 yards on 8 catches in a 70-35 win.
How about that?
One of my favorite weekends ever.
Did you get engaged that weekend?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he said one of, not the greatest weekend ever.
Me and a couple of friends, we called a high school football game in White Oak, Texas on Friday night, and got finished up at about 11 o'clock. Hopped back in the car and drove to Lubbock and arrived here at 5-ish in the morning.
Okay.
Slept for about 3 hours, then went to campus, hung out on campus, watched the game until the end of the third quarter, got in the car and drove to Cisco, called a junior college football game,
Nice.
the three of us, got back in the car when it was over, and drove back to Tyler and saw 3 games in, I don't know, like basically a circle of around 28-ish hours or whatever, and had a blast. And the Red Raiders dominated TCU.
Which is the A&M game that you were on the sideline for at a junior college game, and you were listening to it instead
The Robert Johnson game.
the Robert Johnson game. Okay.
Yeah.
Jamie knows what today is.
It's National Cheeseburger Day.
It is
It
National
is
Cheeseburger
National
Day.
Cheeseburger Day, yeah.
So everybody go get cheeseburger. Plain and dry for Jamie Lent's sake. It's
Dip it
also
in ketchup.
It's also huge birthday. Huge birthday. Jamie knows whose birthday it is.
What's the date?
It's Derek Jeter's birthday?
It is not Derek Jeter's birthday.
Dave Winfield's birthday.
It is not Dave
Oh.
Winfield's birthday.
His is coming up, though.
His is on the way.
Jim
It's
Kelly's
It
birthday.
is not Jim Kelly's birthday.
No.
Well, I've hit it. It's just
The Croatian
Sensation.
sensation.
Tony Kukoc.
There you go.
56 today.
Wow.
Jada Pickett Smith is 54, and Jason Sudeikis is 50. And on this day in 1793, George Washington lays the cornerstone to the United States Capitol building, the home of the legislative branch of the American government. Building would nearly take a century to complete. As architects came and went, the British set fire to the place, and it was also called into service during the Civil War. Today, the Capitol building, with its famous cast iron dome, an important collection of American art, is part of the Capitol complex, which includes 6 congressional office buildings and 3 Library of Congress buildings, all developed in the 19th and 20th centuries. And that is This Day in Sports History.
This day in sports history. Thank you, Jeff. Really,
Silly British people trying to burn down marble. Marble doesn't burn.
really disappointed that the 21st day of September won't fall during the week. Because tomorrow's the 19th.
That is how it goes.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
So you don't have to remember anything,
I do not have to remember anything
which is good because we usually don't.
on the 21st day of September. All right. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. The Rangers haven't won the Silver Boot since 2015. Go Astros. Okay. Yeah, they're I don't know if they're looking strong going into the playoffs, but they're going to be in the playoffs, it looks like.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know that I can't say that they're going to be a favorite, but
You just never know.
you never know once you get in there. We get this prediction: Texas Tech 34, Utah 21. Would that surprise you if you won by 13?
Nope.
Okay. Would it surprise you if it was flipped the other way?
Wouldn't shock me. I guess maybe a little bit of a surprise.
It would be like, okay, so what?
Just
what
because only scoring 20.
Yeah, right. That
would-
was kind of where I was
That's the
headed.
part that really surprises me.
And I would tell you that probably if you gave up 34 points, that there's a pick six, scoop and score. There's some kind of special teams touchdown or defensive setup for an easy score that your offense puts you in a tough spot for. Would be my guess. My friend Mike, who usually picks the Red Raiders, picked Utah to win this game 36-29.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds like he needs a new friend, Mike.
I would not be shocked if this is a close game that falls the way of Utah.
I told him last week he had given me a score that I failed to report to you. I said, if you get that right on the button, I'll bring you some barbecue. And there was a point in time in the fourth quarter I was like, oh man, we give up a score here and we get a score here, and I'm gonna owe some barbecue, but it didn't come down to that.
Oh dang!
So I didn't know anything at the end of the day. We get this. So glad the Mariners lost. That's got to be from an Astro fan, because that puts the Astros. If you have not looked at the standings this morning, the Astros lead the West by a half a game by virtue of their win over Texas last night and the Mariners win over Kansas City last night. So both the Rangers are off tonight, and they need it.
Is the third division winner guaranteed home field advantage over the third wild card team? What if the third wild card team has a better record?
My guess is the division team gets the home field.
That'd be my guess too, but I don't know the answer to
Yeah, so I don't honestly know straight up the answer on that. Let's see. Paul says this: Mike McDaniels is the best when it comes to press conferences. Miami upsets and shows out tonight.
Buffalo's without two defensive starters.
Yeah, but I think that Josh Allen's he looks like a man on a mission.
From looking at the bracket, it looks like the division winners get the home seed, and the best wild card, the wild card team with the best record, hosts the other one.
The number 2 one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so 1 and 2 get buys, 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5, at 4 and at 3.
Right.
So,
but what if the third wild card team?
What if Boston has like right now? Boston has a better record than Houston, according to this sheet right now. Yeah, Houston would still host.
Some craziness would have to happen. I'm just wondering out loud. It's not gonna.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire, I'm Chuck Heinz. We get this from our friend Syntex Inc. This is a nice compliment for the Saturday morning quarterback fellas. The Saturday morning high school report, we call it Saturday Morning Quarterback, is a really good show. Even though my high school days were in Houston and I have no emotional ties to the area schools, it's cool hearing about the games and teams. That's from Syntex Inc.
Those two know their stuff. They're
There's
really
no doubt.
impressive.
There's no doubt about it. So we'll have the high school preview show on the air for you Friday night, heading into the games on both 100.7 The Score and Double T 97.3, and then scoreboard show after the games on both stations Friday night. And then you get an early look at that Saturday morning. They'll have to be quick Saturday morning because the game's coming at us quick.
No dilly-dallying on Saturday.
No. There's no
pleasantries, just straight down to the brass tacks here.
No time to eat a burrito and a donut and a cup of coffee and all that kind of stuff.
Let's not be hasty here.
You know,
there's always time for donuts.
You don't have time for any of that kind of stuff. So so keep that going. We get this communique from our friend Red Raider Charlie. He says, "Good morning, gentlemen. Red Raider Charlie here. I'm hoping David Bailey can be disruptive this week to the Utah quarterback, and that means he has to get around the Utah offensive tackles that are both expected to be drafted in the NFL. Our linebackers are solid, so I believe we will contain the Utah quarterback."
Yeah, the linebackers obviously are a huge factor here, but those rush ends are as well, not just for putting pressure on, but for setting the edge and funneling Mr. Dampier back to the inside where he has help, hopefully, from Skylar Gilhoward or Lee Hunter or Holmes or whoever else, right?
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of good defensive tackles that we've got. So you gotta have your rush lane discipline, like we like to hear the coaches talk about, Chuck, and make sure he's not getting around the outside edge.
Yeah. So those are both good thoughts, Red Raider Charlie. I hope you're right. I don't know if you saw this or not, but this is a story by Max Olson on ESPN.com. College football will have a single off-season transfer portal window. The NCAA made that announcement yesterday. The Division I Administrative Committee voted to approve a legislative change that eliminates the spring transfer window, but did not sign off on establishing January 2nd through the 11th as the lone portal window for FBS and FCS players. So the initial proposal would require college football players to wait until January 2nd, the day after the completion of the college football quarterfinals, to enter their names in the transfer portal database and be contacted then by prospective schools. So what do you think about that, having just one window?
I don't have a problem with the one window thing. I don't like the fact that there's no set time when you need to announce where you're going.
Okay. Players.
So you understand what I'm saying? Like, a guy can hit the portal in that time, and he doesn't. It's not like he has 10 days to announce where he's going.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can hold that. I mean, well into the spring before you decide. And so it's still, in my opinion, holding the coaches hostage of not knowing who they have and who they don't have, and also holding those players that are on the roster hostage as to, should I transfer? Am I going to have a chance to play, or should I stay? I mean, if some guy decides in late February that he wants to come to Texas Tech and play the position of some guy that had elected not to go into the portal, then that seems unfair to that guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's play a little devil's advocate here and ask the worst case scenario question. What if it's a guy that announces he's going in the portal but doesn't know where he's going? Like, it's not that he's not interested in going somewhere. He's just trying to choose between 2 or 3 different schools.
Yeah, I think we should give him about 3 weeks to decide.
And after 3 weeks, he can't go anywhere?
No, he has to decide.
No, I'm just asking.
He has to decide.
He has to make a decision.
Yeah, by the end of January, right around the time school starts.
So make a decision. Yeah.
We also don't know when the calendar is for this is going to be. We know it's going to be in the fall. I mean, in the winter, but it won't be. They got rid of the spring one.
Yeah, they're getting rid of
the dates for January haven't the January open period haven't been set yet.
That's correct. Yeah. But head coaching changed.
You need to be in by a certain time, not by the time the football season starts next year. It needs to be the next 3 weeks or so coaches know and so players know. That, in my opinion, the players shouldn't have the right to just, I'm just gonna hang out and get all the love I can get from all the schools that I want. I mean, give them 3 weeks, make a decision. I mean, half of them already know where they're going anyways. They already legally been contacted. They absolutely know where they're going. I think it's unfair to the players on the roster that say, okay, I have a chance to play here. I might be second string. I might be third string. I might be first string. I have a chance to play here.
Mm-hmm.
But then some guy can come in early March who entered the portal 2 months ago and go, yeah, I'm choosing that school.
King's X. Yeah.
Yep. And so now that guy that thought he was first string
or second
is, and what if he's a quarterback? So that means that he goes, or a kicker. He goes from I'm going to play to I'm never going to see the field.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I hate that there's only one window. I would do one at the end of the season and one at the end of the spring. You only can do one. And I don't know what the stipulation would be otherwise, that you can only do one of the 2 transfers.
Why can we not ask these kids to make a decision in 3 weeks?
I don't know. That's a great question. That makes perfect sense.
I don't understand.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Here's the other thing too is, like, for the players at UCLA and Virginia Tech, because their coaches were fired, they now have a 30-day window to enter the portal and explore transfer.
Mm-hmm. and not lose eligibility for playing in the 3 games or whatever that they played in.
Yeah, and at some point in time, we're going to have in-season transferring. You watch. Somebody will sue somebody, and some weak judge or court system will say, "Oh yeah, hey, they should be able to just willy-nilly go here and there whenever they want to." But yeah, the crazy thing is, players would have 10 days to enter the portal, but are under no deadline to make a commitment to their next school once they enter. And the other thing, too, is there's still coaching. I like the fact that once you're if your coach is fired or leaves, that you have a 30-day window to transfer. I like that, because that could happen at virtually any time. Mm-hmm. But generally speaking, it's the position coach that the players have more contact with than the head coach. But let's face it, if the head coach leaves, all the assistants are going to leave too. More than likely. Yeah. It's very, very doubtful that would be the case. I wish they would make this thing, though, that after the season ended. I do think Ohio State coach Ryan Day has a point that if you're one of those teams that's still in the hunt preparing and you're trying to work on your roster and players are trying, you want all your focus to be on those semifinal games and those championship games. I don't understand why that couldn't be shifted after those games.
Ryan Day, I get his point, but you work on winning the football games. You hired a general manager. You let him work on adding these recruits. It's really what it boils down to.
No, I understand that, but I mean, also you have.
It's not like the head coach is the main guy doing it.
No, I get that, but it's more the players and just the disruption, I guess, is how I look at that.
That's fair.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Okay, gentlemen, we've talked about a lot of different things this week leading up into this game, and I must say that I am thoroughly enjoying having a game that actually, we talk about things that could decide the outcome. It's
a real game.
More fun. It's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, this one is a lot of fun because it's 2 really good teams, and with 2 really good teams, usually, you just never know what can happen, and a lot of times, sometimes there's a stat or a person that comes out of nowhere that decides the game that you maybe didn't plan on. So my question for you today is, what is the stat / player / position group that's the X factor that could decide this game that we're maybe not talking about nearly as much?
I think there's going to be a special teams turnover. I think there's going to be a blocked punt, a blocked field goal, that extra point that Texas Tech gets that's going to factor into the final score.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
It's an interesting question because, this really could go anywhere in this game because I think the rankings for these 2 teams feel really accurate, that they are very close to one another. And depending on which ranking you're looking at, one of them has Texas Tech higher, one of them has Utah higher. This should be a really good game, so it could be literally anything.
Even like the elevation or their crowd.
Or it could be who wins the coin toss, and that just determined who won the game. It could be as simple as that.
Coin toss.
Because that sets you up, either
first half or
second half. Yeah, right. You've got control of a section there, and that was the control that was all the control you needed. I am going to go with the Texas Tech running backs and how their performance goes. Could be the X factor in this because we're talking about defensive line, we're talking about their offensive line, we're talking about our receivers. But if the Texas Tech running backs can keep Utah off the board and off the field, and the defense can keep them off the board, this gets like a very long game for Utah very quickly.
All right, I'm going to steal a Chuck answer. I think
Kickers?
it's the kickers. Ours have been great. Theirs missed 3 field goals last week. He's got the name of Legzilla, but apparently not always accurate Zilla.
Kind of sounds like us.
So he's not always fair in the polls. He's not always accurate. He's just trying to kick the
He's
football.
just trying to put it between the pipes, right?
It feels like in close games, it's sometimes it's a field goal that you miss early on. Maybe it's not at the end of the game, but maybe it's early on that you should have had those points that you miss an extra point, you're chasing points the rest of the game and how that affects things.
Sure.
Okay. Ours have been great. I don't know.
We're taking all of them too, apparently, right?
I have no idea. I
think we're taking all of them.
If Joey McGuire feels like we need all of them, then take them all.
Yeah.
I mean, take them all. That's what we pay him for, right?
Mm-hmm.
we don't pay him to stay back here.
Leave no stone unturned. Well, you got you got a fistful. You got the punter kicker, you got the kicker, you got the kicker offer guy, and then you got a punter.
And the kicker offer guy may be your kicker.
He might be.
Yeah.
He might be. I think we could trade one. We could trade one, before the game. Wouldn't that be something? We're gonna have that at some point in time. The college football teams there's gonna be a trade.
I'm currently sorry I brought up kickers. My X factor is the kickers.
Okay. I like it. We get this from Jackson. He says, underrated player X factor is John Curry.
If Curry is the guy, and it would make a little bit of sense to me, if he's the guy that they use as a spy, okay, then he could be playing the most important position on the field for the Red Raiders on Saturday. And by the way, if you've heard Jeff McGuire Sports Center this morning, one of our media members, was it you, Jeff?
I have asked that question before, but this was not me.
Asked Shieldwood if we were going to use a spy. Okay, first off, good question. Totally fair question. I've wondered aloud the same thing. Good question, media member, whoever you are. I am so glad that Shieldwood didn't answer it. Totally ignored the question.
And you usually are a fan of somebody that doesn't give you a non-answer.
No, I don't have a problem with Coach Speak. I really don't. I thought he gave a good answer that did not answer the question. So it was, which I would not want him to do. I'm taking my media hat off and putting my fan hat on. Don't give him any tidbits of information that they could use. Oh, that's what they're going to do. Oh, okay. No. Coach Wood, he's a smart guy. He didn't answer the question. He complimented Dampier, and he made a joke about him spying him from the sideline and all the above. But he did not answer the question, which was great. So, I guess we need more Homer media members, right? That just know, hey.
Well, everybody laughed. Everybody in the press conference laughed when he said it.
But make sure we're not giving away any secrets.
And Jeff is laughing or smiling because he knows I'm going to say this line. This is a press conference. The last thing we want to do here is answer any questions.
They do answer a lot of questions. They do. Credit to our staff.
Whose quote is that?
That's a MASH.
Oh, okay.
Hawkeye asked a question
about an incubator.
and the general says, "This is a press conference. The last thing we want to do here is answer any questions."
And much like any other press conference, when one person is asking enough questions about it, all of a sudden the other people are like, "Well, why don't you want to answer his question about the incubator? Are we doing germ warfare here? Wait a minute."
If I looked up in the dictionary, target audience of MASH, I might see a picture of you two. You just seem like the kind of guys
I think you're just
really liked that show.
It's a 50-plus kind of group now, Leaves no stone unturned. Harrington,
Yeah, that was well done.
Yeah,
I like what you did there, Texter.
Is kicker offer guy an official title? It is. Oh goodness. 7:40 this morning. That's why you come here.
If you were wondering.
And if you've just stumbled upon us, then God love you.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Take your thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line here this morning. Go to doublet973.com for that of the mobile app. The Visual Edge IT hotline, it too is open at 806-771-0973. Somebody asked this, how long did a typical Chuck Heinz, Mike Leach conversation take? No, I mean, never really had extremely long conversations with him, but there were some interesting exchanges, from time to time.
Yeah, sure. I bet so.
Somebody says, "Don't worry about it. I belong there with y'all." Okay, yeah.
In the odd duck pond.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He might be odd. Y'all belong in an insane asylum. I feel like that. I feel like that we're living in that from time to time.
Doesn't feel like a compliment.
No, it doesn't feel like a compliment. I think sometimes if folks only knew what we dealt with here.
Break now. I can't get in the studio.
The door, it's not locked. It's like this won't go in. So the door is legitimately broken. The handle is.
8:12 this morning here on the morning drive.
Yeah, he's got commercials playing. Can you not hear it?
No.
Signature Stag, your one-stop man shop for legendary game day gear.
8:15 this morning here on the morning drive. Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Continue to take your thoughts and comments, your reaction to the sporting world on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app. It is presented by Happy State Bank. We get this statement off the Yates Flooring Center chat line, Jamie. I'm surprised that there is belief that this game will even be close with how the other shows talked about this team over the summer. Well, we all talked glowingly about the team. I don't know that anybody felt like that this particular game was going to be any kind of blowout or anything, right?
Over the summer, I think most of us had it. I mean, if you were listing those 3 road games, probably the easiest of the 3, with Kansas State and Arizona State in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people had it that way. Now, I would have probably in the off season, I would have given you 75% chance of winning this game, and now I think it's 50-50.
50-50, okay.
Yeah. So I'll say my opinion of the game has changed since the off season. I can't speak specifically about what other people have said. They were 2-7 in conference play a year ago, and I was not uber impressed with who they brought in at quarterback. I'm not uber impressed with him now. I think he's looked good against bad teams. So does he have a chance to impress me this week? If he leads them like he is really playing well and he's the reason they win this week, because I think our defense is good, I will have to be impressed with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think he's a great athlete. I don't think he's a great quarterback. And so we'll see what he can do. He's got the chance to prove me wrong this week. Even if his team loses, but he plays well, he can prove me wrong.
Yeah. So you think he's the biggest difference from when we were talking about things over the summer to where we are today? Or is the offensive line play better than maybe what we thought it was going to be?
Yeah, I think we probably assumed it was, I think I assumed it would be good, but I don't know. Just the fact that it's just hard to gauge anything right now. It really is, because when you're talking about these two teams, because of the schedules that they've played.
When you look at Utah historically, under their coach Kyle Whittingham, you have to almost you look at this and go, okay, is the 5-7 and 2-7 in conference play last year? Is that a misnomer, or is that an indication of the team going downhill? Because prior to that, 8-5. Prior to that, 10-4. 10-4 in 2021. 11-3 in 19. 9-5 in 18. 7-6 in 17. They've since 2015, their team has won 10 or more games 4 times. That's impressive.
I don't necessarily think that people thought their program was gone. I mean, everybody knew that the problem was their quarterback, and their backup quarterback was horrible.
Yeah.
And who ended up being the starter because your regular one got hurt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that changed everything for them.
Yeah.
I don't think you're in a situation like you have here that if Baron Morton got hurt, then that, although maybe not as quite as good, but that Will Hammond could still win you some games. What they had going on last year was pretty rough.
What hasn't been good for Utah the last 5 times that they've played is their bowl appearances. They've lost their last 5. The last time that they won a bowl game was the Heart of Dallas Bowl in 2017. They won the Foster Farms Bowl in 16, the Vegas Bowl in 15, and in 14 as well. So, but he does have a Sugar Bowl win. He does have a Fiesta Bowl win under his belt. So that's a credit to what they've done with that football program during his tenure there.
Unfortunately, we have to admit it's been a lot more successful than what it's been here during that stretch.
Yeah, no question. No question. All right, we get this communique this morning. Dear Chuck, how are you? I am fine. I want to tip my Astros cap to Jamie Lent for being such a good soldier, taking a tour of Texas, watching his Red Raiders hang 70 on TCU, and calling a few games. That's from a story earlier. I drove from sleepy Lakewood to East Dallas to Lubbock and back to Dallas for that game. Jamie is also in good company because Gordo eats his cheeseburgers the same way. Thank you for the HSOs that you give us. I would say, some would say hardcore sports opinions, but I would say honest sports opinions from you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't do a lot of whole faking thing. Yeah. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I just say what I think.
Gordo, P.S. Please tell Jeff McGuire that Gordo says hello.
Hello, Gordo.
Gordo, man, he loves him some Jeff McGuire and some Jamie Lent, and he loves his cheeseburgers. Yeah. 8:21 this morning here on the morning drive. I saw this yesterday. This is from via Inside the Line. It's a sports line. This is college football playoff chances. What did you see this by chance? Have you seen this?
I don't think so.
What percentage do you think they give Texas Tech to make it to the college football playoffs at this point?
I'm gonna guess it's 7%.
12.1, ahead of Auburn, ahead of Iowa, just behind Oklahoma. Oh, excuse me, U of A. Oh, that's got to be Arizona. No, they have Auburn ahead. They have Auburn at 15%. I don't know what this U of A is.
What's the logo look like?
It's orange. Right there. That's
Auburn.
What's that up there? Well, that's Alabama.
Oh, you have offended so many people.
I'm so
You
sorry.
confused Alabama's
with
logo.
I'm just looking at it. Was just an A. It was just an A.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I'm thinking on the fly here. Okay.
What?
They have Utah's at 20%.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Then it's not Utah State or somebody else?
No, it's UU. That's Utah Utes.
It's not the U, though.
Yeah.
That's a different U.
Miami's got to be higher than that.
Yeah.
The U.
They got SMU, the Ponies at 27.1%. We're not supposed to say Pony up.
Is that Texas Tech the second highest in the Big 12?
TCU's at 16, so yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that would be third. You said Utah.
Oh,
was
Utah.
20.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. Utah. I forget about them being in the Big 12. You know
Which
what?
one? Oh, boy.
Where have they got Iowa State?
This whole thinking on the fly thing is really difficult.
Not listed.
Not listed, really.
Not listed on this particular deal.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
When are we thinking not on the fly? What does that mean? I mean, we're currently sitting down. I mean, what does it have to be not thinking on the fly?
I don't know.
My SportsCenter script, when I read it in the morning, is not on the fly. Mm-hmm. I wrote it, and then I'm reading it. I wrote it on the fly. I'm reading it off of the script.
We have Tennessee at 28%. So anyway, college football playoff chances. They still have Notre Dame pretty high too. So that doesn't seem to make it very credible, does it?
Well, they are Notre Dame.
It's Notre Dame. They'll get the benefit of the doubt. If they ran the table, they might still give themselves a shot
with the two losses.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. This Chuck moment brought to you by nobody. Yeah, thank you.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.